First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao.
Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty. Finish them! Finish them! Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
We all come to Mortal Kombat for that kind of graphic violence that would make a serial killer blush. All these years later, I'm that kind of graphic violence that would make a serial killer blush. All these years later, I'm still on the edge of my seat every time I hear the words, "Finish him." But gore aside, the Mortal Kombat series has a lengthy, if convoluted, story. Let's put all the bloodletting into context by going through the Mortal Kombat timeline. The Elder Gods and the One Being. So, to fully understand the history of the Mortal Kombat tournaments, we must go back to the beginning, like the very beginning. According to the lore, the Elder Gods are divine beings that have existed since the beginning of time itself. However, as powerful as these deities are, they still aren't the strongest thing in the universe at that time. That would be the One Being, whose entire existence feeds off the energy of the Elder Gods. Eventually, the Elder Gods don't want to be his food anymore, so they wage war against the One Being, seeing him as their ultimate threat. Unfortunately, their power is no match. So the Elder Gods think outside the box and defeat the One Being in a different way. They use the Kami Dogu. 6 mystical weapons split the One Being, encasing a piece of him inside each one. These 6 pieces grow to become the 6 different realms we're familiar with in the series: Earth Realm, Outworld, Nether Realm, Order Realm, Chaos Realm, and Edenia. Over time, the Elder Gods watch each realm evolve and flourish with life. So, they appoint themselves as guardians over these realms, assigning each god to a specific realm as protector. They also create a moral code, never to get involved with the life forms of these realms. Alas, following rules isn't for everybody. The Elder God Shinnok takes a liking to Earth Realm, and he begins to invade the realm and rebuild it according to his vision. Luckily, God of Thunder and Protector of Earth, Raiden, catches on to Shinnok's plan and intervenes, resulting in a crazy chaotic battle that nearly wipes out all of Earthrealm's inhabitants. The other Elder Gods find out what's happening, and they help put an end to Shinnok's plan by stripping him of his power and banishing him to the Netherrealm. Peace is once again restored, but only temporarily. As the generations of life forms continue to evolve in each realm, conflicts arise, and wars take place between the realms. So, to maintain order among the realms, the gods create a martial arts tournament called Mortal Kombat that reoccurs every generation. When one realm is trying to invade another realm, they must win 10 Mortal Kombat tournaments in a row before they can merge realms and take over. The ruling reign of Onaga, the Dragon King. No realm is more eager to start expanding than Outworld. The very first emperor to rule over Outworld is Onaga, the Dragon King. Onaga's power is unmatched, as he and his invincible army conquer and merge with other realms, expanding his ever-growing empire. His secret? Onaga's heart possesses the ability to resurrect his fallen soldiers continuously. As if that isn't enough, he is also virtually immortal. By using the last dragon egg, his followers place a spell over Onaga and the egg that would transfer his soul into the baby dragon upon his death, thus granting him eternal life. Now, at the time, Onaga has a trusted advisor named Shao Kahn. The gods gift Kahn with the title of Protector over Outworld, and he soon becomes mad with power. Kahn poisons Onaga and takes over as leader of Outworld, but these actions divide the realm. The unstoppable army even mummify themselves to wait out Kahn's reign until their one true emperor, Onaga, would be reborn. In the meantime, Kahn becomes just as bloodthirsty as his predecessor. He begins invoking Mortal Kombat on other realms and conquering them all, merging his world with theirs. Shao Kahn and the End of Times. In Edenia, the god and protector, Argus, and his sorceress wife, Delia, receive visions of an epic battle. Should the Mortal Kombat warriors grow too powerful and numerous, their war would undoubtedly bring about the end of times, for all realms. Therefore, the Elder Gods demand a safeguard to be put in place should these events begin to occur. However, Argus and Delia are torn on the outcome of the plan. Argus believes all warriors should be destroyed, while Delia just wants them to be stripped of their powers. To settle the dispute, they involve their sons, Dagon and Taven. Since Delia had foreseen the battle taking place in Edenia's southlands, they placed their sons into hibernation, only to be awakened once the battle took place. They would then have to compete in a race to retrieve their special armor and kill a fire elemental named Blaze. Whichever son that wins would take Argus's place as Edenia's protector, and he would decide the fate of the warriors. The sons are hidden inside 2 different mountains in Edenia, each guarded by their own dragon. The golden dragon, Orin, watches over Tabin, while the red dragon, Karo, watches over Dagon. After some trickery from Shinnok, Karo prematurely wakes Dagon up. Shinnok convinces Dagon that his parents are rooting against him, and in retaliation, Dagon kills Argus and Delia, leaving their realm vulnerable to Shao Kahn's impending invasion. Kahn murders Edenian ruler King Jarad and takes Queen Sindel as his own. Sindel takes her own life, and Kahn raises her child, Katana, to be his ultimate assassin. Shujinko and Onaga, Mortal Kombat Deception. A few hundred years pass, and Kahn sets his sights on Earthrealm, which many consider to be the blue ribbon of all realms. Kahn sends out his sorcerer, Shang Tsung, to establish the tournament as a competition between Kahn's armies and the defending warriors of Earthrealm. To protect Earthrealm from the impending invaders, Raiden founds the White Lotus Society, a sect of Shaolin monks dedicated to training for the Mortal Kombat tournament. Warrior Kung Lao rises through the ranks, quickly becoming the most notable fighter of the bunch. Lao defeats Shang Tsung, but in an act of compassion, spares his life, which would ultimately result in his downfall. Lao reigns champion for only 1 generation before Shang Tsung unleashes his secret weapon, a Shokan prince named Goro. Goro quickly kills Lao and proceeds to win the following 8 Earthrealm tournaments, giving Outworld 9 consecutive wins. Meanwhile, during his imprisonment in the afterlife, Onaga learns of Shao Kahn's treachery and becomes infuriated. He begins scheming ways of being reborn and seeking vengeance upon his former advisor. He learns of a promising White Lotus warrior in training by the name of Shujinko. Onaga's essence appears as an apparition before Shujinko under false claims of being an elder god named Damashi. He instructs the warrior to embark on a divine journey to help the gods by traveling to each realm and collecting all 6 hidden Kamidogu and placing them within the Nexus, a special location between the realms. So, Shujinko follows his instructions and begins to embark on his journey that will unknowingly resurrect the Dragon King. Sub-Zero's story. Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Sub-Zero. Before the final Earthrealm tournament, Shang Tsung makes a deal with Quan Chi, the most powerful sorcerer in all the Netherrealm. The proposition is a failsafe, just in case Outworld should lose to Earthrealm in the final tournament. Quan Chi would assist Khan's shadow warriors in the resurrection of Queen Sindel, and in return, Shang Tsung would point the sorcerer in the right direction of Shinnok's hidden amulet that allowed him passage into the Earthrealm all those years ago. Quan Chi has a plan to resurrect Shinnok and had been searching for the amulet for many years. He hires 2 rival ninja assassin groups to hunt after the map to find the amulet, the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu. 1 representative is elected from each group to hunt it down, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, respectively. The 2 eventually face off against one another for the map, and after the battle, Sub-Zero claims victory over Scorpion. He kills his rival and follows the map toward the amulet, which he retrieves and returns to Quan Chi. Quan Chi repays Sub-Zero by wiping out the entire Shirai Ryu clan, and then takes the amulet back to the Netherrealm. However, shortly after, Raiden appears before Sub-Zero and explains his wrongdoings. Racked with guilt, Sub-Zero travels to the Netherrealm and reclaims the amulet through brute force, successfully fighting his way through waves of Shinnok's evil forces to preserve peace among the realms. This entire series of events catches the attention of Shang Tsung, who invites Sub-Zero to fight in Earthrealm's final tournament. He accepts, but only under the secret orders of his clan's grandmaster. Win the tournament and assassinate Shang Tsung. Earthrealm's final tournament, Mortal Kombat. On Shang Tsung's mysterious island, Earthrealm has one last chance to defend mankind, where warriors from all over rally to compete in the name of freedom. Among these notable fighters are White Lotus warrior Liu Kang, actor Johnny Cage, Special Forces agent Sonya Blade, and Kung Lao. Well, a different Kung Lao. He's the last living descendant of the legendary Earthrealm champion. And of course, there's Sub-Zero, under special instructions to assassinate Shang Tsung. Little does he know, Quan Chi had resurrected Scorpion to seek revenge for the death of his family. During the tournament, Scorpion is victorious over Sub-Zero, defeating him and sending him down to the 5th darkest plane of the Netherrealm. There, Sub-Zero is reborn as Noob Saibot and darkest plane of the Netherrealm. There, Sub-Zero is reborn as Noob Saibot and recruited as one of Quan Chi's loyal soldiers. Once the Lin Kuei starts converting assassins into cyborgs, Cyrax decides to leave the clan. He fights to escape, only to be tracked down by the Ninja Clan and transformed into a cyborg anyway. Kitana faces off against Liu Kang, but to no avail. He chooses to spare her life and deny their fight ever actually happened, should anyone ask at least. Because Raiden is a god, he is not allowed to compete. Even so, he guides Liu Kang as the White Lotus warrior rises through the ranks of the tournament, defeating Goro as well as Shang Tsung. Liu Kang wins the Mortal Kombat tournament for Earthrealm, resetting the score between the two realms back to 0 and preventing Outworld from invading. Shao Kahn's Outworld tournament, Mortal Kombat 2. Needless to say, Shao Kahn isn't pleased to hear about his realm's loss. He threatens to execute Shang Tsung for the death of Goro, as well as losing the battle for Outworld. Shang begs Shao Kahn for a shot at redemption and pitches an idea to lure the Earthrealm warriors into a double or nothing fight. Shao Kahn likes the idea, so he rewards Shang Tsung with a more youthful body in return for his genius. Shao Kahn then orders the Tarkatan Horde to attack the Wuxi Academy, home of the White Lotus Society, sending a message to Raiden and the other Earthrealm warriors. They successfully kill most of Liu Kang's fellow monks, including his Shaolin masters. Naturally, this doesn't sit well with Liu Kang, so he travels to Outworld to confront Khan, along with Jax, Johnny Cage, who was on the hunt for the now missing Sonya Blade, and Kung Lao. Once in Outworld, Shang Tsung's plan comes together, and the Earthrealm warriors agree to another tournament, reinstating Outworld's 9-tournament win streak. In the meantime, Kitana discovers her sister, Melina, is a grotesque clone of her, created by Shang Tsung using Tarkatan DNA. She also discovers the fate of her mother and her true identity as Princess of Edenia. So she switches sides to fight alongside the Earthrealm warriors. Then there's Sub-Zero's younger brother, Kuai Liang. The Lin Kuei sent him to Outworld to take up the Sub-Zero name and finish his mission to assassinate Shang Tsung. During his pursuit, his ally, named Smoke, gets captured by the Lin Kuei and turned into a robot. On the plus side, Scorpion realizes that Kuai Liang doesn't deserve to be killed over his brother's actions, so he becomes his protector instead. Earthrealm wins the tournament once again, thanks to Liu Kang defeating Kintaro, Shang Tsung, and punching a hole through Shao Kahn's chest. The warriors escape Outworld safely. Liu Kang begins training the next set of warriors alongside Kung Lao, and peace is restored once more. For a while, anyways. Outworld invades, Mortal Kombat 3. Shao Kahn isn't done trying to outsmart the Elder Gods and find loopholes to gain power over Earthrealm. He enlists Quan Chi and the 2 resurrect Queen Sindel on Earth. To claim her, Shao Kahn travels between the dimensions, successfully merging Earthrealm with Outworld. The resulting invasion leads to an epic battle for Earthrealm. Khan's forces begin rampaging through Earthrealm, leaving Raiden to find a capable collection of heroes to help fend them off. Unfortunately, during all the chaos, Johnny Cage is murdered by a centaur named Motaro. But because the realms have merged, some unpredictable magic returns Johnny to life so he can continue to fight for Earthrealm. Kinda convenient. Sub-Zero discards his ninja attire, disowning the Lin Kuei due to their new practices with cybernetic technology. While helping the other heroes, he's pursued by robotic versions of his former Lin Kuei clan, including his former ally Smoke. Sub-Zero succeeds in getting through to him, and together they fight off the other cyborgs. Meanwhile, Kitana focuses on bringing Sindel back to her senses and onto the good guy's side. Unfortunately, her good friend and fellow assassin Jade is on a mission to kill Kitana for switching sides. Luckily, she chooses to defend her instead. Amidst the battle, Kung Lao is killed by Shao Kahn, pushing Liu Kang over the edge and giving him the extra burst of strength needed to defeat Khan and send him back to Outworld for good. As Khan dies and Outworld retreats, Earthrealm is victorious, and Edenia is now free once more. Shinnok's vengeful return. Mortal Kombat 4. Shao Kahn has been stopped, but another evil is stirring. During his time in the Netherrealm, Shinnok schemes of a way to launch an attack on the heavens. In an act of vengeance, he plans on murdering the Elder Gods and many of the Lesser Gods, like Raiden. He really hates Raiden. So, Shinnok rallies an army, enlisting the help of Noob Saibot and Edenia traitor, Tanya. Shinnok escapes to the newly restored Edenia and kidnaps Queen Sindel and Princess Kitana. His plan is to go after the Jinsei, Earthrealm's life force. By infecting the Jinsei with his own evil, the entire planet would become corrupt, thus becoming Shinnok's new domain. Raiden and a fellow god named Fujin flee to Earthrealm and begin enlisting warriors once more. The 2 gods manage to rally up some of the strongest fighters in the land, including Liu Kang, Jax, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and somehow still alive, Kung Lao, Kitana, and White Lotus member Kai. They even recruited a few bad guys too: Cyrax, Goro, and Black Dragon member named Jarek. It was mostly out of necessity, an enemy of my enemy situation. After a nasty battle, Liu Kang saves the day by defeating Shinnok and kicking his butt back to the Netherrealm. No surprise there. In gratitude, Kitana offers Liu Kang a spot at her side as ruler of Edenia, but he refuses. His place is with the other Shaolin monks of the White Lotus Society. Kitana also becomes close allies with Goro and Kung Lao, finally putting an end to their family disputes. The Elder Gods promote Raiden for helping put an end to Shinnok, allowing him to join the ranks beside them. Raiden then promotes Fujin to the Protector of Earthrealm. During the journey, Jax and Sonya also help Cyrax break out of his programming. Physically, he's still a cyborg, but at least his mind returns to his old human way of thinking. Quan Chi finally admitted he's behind the death of Scorpion's clan. As he's preparing to banish Scorpion to the Netherrealm, Scorpion tackles him, banishing them both to the Netherrealm. From there, Scorpion begins a manhunt for the Sorcerer. The Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat 5. In the Netherrealm, Quan Chi stumbles upon Onaga's mummified army and hatches up an evil scheme. He escapes to Outworld to recruit fellow sorcerer Shang Tsung in stealing the souls of warriors and placing them inside the bodies of the mummified soldiers, creating their own undefeatable army. Together, they embark on a mission to eliminate their greatest threats. First, they attack Shao Kahn. Unprepared and outnumbered, Khan is killed by the two sorcerers. Next, they head out to Earthrealm to annihilate the realm's most notable champion, Liu Kang. Shang Tsung snaps his neck on the spot. On Edenia, a war between their realm and Outworld has broken out, and Goro is slain in battle only to be revived by Shao Kahn. Yes, unbeknownst to the sorcerers, Shao Kahn is still very much alive. Turns out, they had killed a decoy. Now that no one knows that Shao Kahn or Goro are alive, they remain on the sidelines. During this time, Sub-Zero decides to set things right with the Lin Kuei. He attacks and defeats Sector, taking over as the new Grand Master of the Order. He begins training a young female protege named Frost. Meanwhile, Scorpion is still hunting after Quan Chi in the Netherrealm, not knowing he's escaped. Unfortunately, he's attacked by Quan Chi's minions and thrown into a Soulnado. It's a soul tornado, where he's presumed dead. Raiden discovers Liu Kang's death and calls upon his Earthrealm warriors to avenge him. But everyone minus Raiden and Sub-Zero is killed in battle. Oops. The Dragon King returns, Mortal Kombat 6. A solid 41 years has passed since Shujinko was sent out to complete the quest given to him. After obtaining the 6th and final Kamidogu from Edenia, Shujinko goes to the Nexus and places each Kamidogu on the altar. Once he does, the egg Onaga was imprisoned in hatches. The Dragon King resumes his physical form by merging with the ninja reptile. As Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, and Raiden are battling it out, Onaga shows up. Fairly quickly, they decide to put their differences aside and attack Onaga. But the Dragon King seems unstoppable. In an act of desperation, Raiden blows himself up, destroying everyone around but Onaga. Onaga resurrects the fallen heroes to be his goons and proceeds with his initial plan to merge all the realms into his kingdom. Raiden respawns elsewhere, but is overcome by anger. He resurrects Liu Kang's soulless corpse and goes after Onaga. At this time, Liu Kang's actual soul intervenes and contacts Ermac to help save his brainwashed buddies. Also, the Elder Gods have their own plan to stop Onaga. They resurrect Scorpion and promise to resurrect his clan. All he has to do is end Onaga at any cost. However, the only one who is able to defeat Onaga is a guilt-ridden Shujinko. He uses his power to summon the skills of the fallen warriors, shattering every Kamidogu piece and putting an end to Onaga's tyranny. Meanwhile, Ermac and Liu Kang's ghost revive the brainwashed heroes and return them back to their senses. But they can't celebrate just yet. Blaze, the fire elemental, tells Kitana that she must gather all the heroes. This war isn't quite over. Armageddon, Mortal Kombat 7. Now, every fallen hero and villain has been revived. All of the bad guys, including Onaga, Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, and Quan Chi, form a temporary truce to wipe out their foes. After the Elder Gods betrayed Scorpion and brought his clan back as a bunch of zombies, he joins the villains. Taven has finally woken up from his slumber, only to discover his parents' plan went horribly awry, and that his brother went on a murdering spree. He begins biding time until Blaze gives him his signal, and the rest of the plan falls into place. As for our heroes, a massive battle royale is taking place amongst every single Mortal Kombat character. It's like a family reunion, but with a little less blood. Blaze appears on top of a pyramid, disrupting the war. His energy immediately entrances the fighters, and everyone begins racing and fighting their way towards the top of the pyramid. It's the moment Taven has been waiting for. But alas, he isn't the last man standing. Khan is victorious, with a massive pile of bodies in his wake. The runner-up is Raiden, and as he lays at Shao Kahn's feet, moments from death, he holds together his shattered amulet and shouts, "He must win!" sending his message back in time. The Redux Tournaments, Part 1, Mortal Kombat. Up until now, we've been following the old timeline. When MK9 came out, it rebooted the franchise, altering the storyline along with it. From here on in, we will be outlining the current timeline. So, we are back to the events of the first Mortal Kombat, on Shang Tsung's mysterious island. Raiden is suddenly overwhelmed with visions of the future, everything from the Lin Kuei transforming into cyborgs and the Sub-Zero Scorpion feud, Johnny Cage's death. But what stands out the most are the words, "He must win." Naturally, he figures this means Liu Kang must defeat Shang Tsung, so things play out the exact same way. Even when Raiden does try to convince Scorpion to spare Sub-Zero, Quan Chi pushes him to kill his foe, just as before. Unfortunately, even after Earthrealm wins the tournament, Raiden discovers his amulet is still cracking. Thus, the inevitable end of times is still on the horizon. More changes take place during the Outworld tournament. For instance, Raiden's interference with the Lin Kuei results in the younger Sub-Zero's conversion into a cyborg instead of Smoke. The Lin Kuei also joins forces with Shao Kahn in this go-around. After Kung Lao successfully defeats Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, and Kintaro, Raiden figures maybe his premonition wasn't meant for Liu Kang, but for Kung Lao. However, Raiden soon gets his answer when Shao Kahn sneaks up behind Kung Lao and snaps his neck. This pushes Liu Kang over the edge, and once again, Liu Kang just punches a hole through Shao Kahn's chest, defeating him. Still, Raiden's amulet continues to crack. With Quan Chi's help, Shao Kahn recovers and, just as before, revives Sindel and invades Earthrealm. Raiden manages to save Johnny Cage's life and aids bringing Sub-Zero back to his senses, seeing as he's a cyborg now. He decides to use the situation to everyone's advantage and spies on Shao Kahn. Cyber Sub-Zero ends up fighting with his reincarnated older brother, Noob Saibot, and destroys him. Meanwhile, Nightwolf defeats Quan Chi and puts an end to his destructive Soulnado. Unfortunately, Raiden's amulet is still cracking. He's disturbed by the notion that they might not be on the right path after all. So Raiden and Liu Kang travel to speak with the Elder Gods, who stick to their rule of thumb: don't get involved. Since Shao Kahn hasn't technically done anything wrong in their eyes, they couldn't care less about what these two have to say. On Earthrealm, the warriors fight off the now invading Lin Kuei. That's easy enough to handle, but another major change occurs to the timeline. Shao Kahn decides to kill his right-hand man, Shang Tsung. He uses the sorcerer's energy to enhance Quinn Sindel's power, and in one fell swoop, she murders most of the Earthrealm warriors. Only Nightwolf is able to stop her by sacrificing himself. Raiden and Liu Kang return just in time to confront a dying Kitana. Liu Kang is furious with Raiden, and in an act of desperation, Raiden travels to Netherrealm to make a deal with Quan Chi, who basically laughs in his face. Quan Chi already has a deal going on with Shao Kahn, giving him the souls of everyone who's died in Mortal Kombat. Quan Chi sends the revenants of Raiden's former friends to attack him until he chooses to flee empty-handed. As he leaves, Quan Chi inadvertently reveals that the Elder Gods will never let Shao Kahn merge the realms without winning Mortal Kombat. Suddenly, Raiden has an epiphany. He must win. It must refer to Shao Kahn. If they simply let Shao Kahn merge the realms, the Elder Gods will have no choice but to interfere and put an end to his tyranny. Of course, this doesn't sit well with Liu Kang. He's still peeved at Shao Kahn for killing his friends and girlfriend, Kitana. Before he sets out to kill Kahn himself, Raiden fights Liu Kang to stop him, but accidentally kills him in the process. Shao Kahn then merges the realms, becoming stronger than ever. Just as anticipated, the Elder Gods interfere by enhancing Raiden's power and sending him to fight Kahn. At last, Raiden kills Shao Kahn once and for all, and the amulet is restored. Little does he know, this fits perfectly into Quan Chi's plan. Of the Earthrealm warriors, all that remain are Johnny, Sonya, and Raiden. Soon, Shinnok would rise and no one would be around to oppose him. The Redux Tournaments, Part 2, Mortal Kombat 10. 2 years later, Shinnok returns. Considering that all the fallen warriors, good and bad alike, now fight for Shinnok due to Quan Chi's soul stealing, the odds are stacked against the good guys. Regardless, Johnny Cage manages to save the day. In a surprising turn of events, it's revealed that Johnny is a descendant of ancient warriors bred by the gods to just kick ass. Johnny overpowers Shinnok and imprisons him inside the amulet for safekeeping. Of course, after discovering these divine powers, Quan Chi tries to kill Johnny and resurrect him as one of his goons, but Raiden interferes and saves Johnny's life. Quan Chi escapes, but our heroes are able to track him down, freeing Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Jax from his control in the process. Unfortunately, Quan Chi escapes again, but at least a few of Earthrealm's heroes are saved from damnation. Shortly after the war, Johnny and Sonya get married and have a daughter, Cassie. But because Sonya's Special Forces duties put a burden on their marriage, they get divorced soon after. Jax settles down with a civilian and also has a daughter, Jackie. As in the previous timeline, Sub-Zero kills Sector and takes over as Grandmaster for the Lin Kuei. Scorpion also has a happy ending, as Kenshi helps him reconnect with his humanity. He then rebuilds the Shirai Ryu and recruits others who have dealt with loss. Raiden takes Shinnok's amulet and hides it away from reality with the use of the Kamidogu. He had transformed the Kamidogu into daggers and entrusted them to various warriors to fight against evil. Now that Shao Kahn is gone, Mileena takes over as ruler of Outworld, until an unforeseen coup d'etat forces her into hiding. Khan's underling, Kotal, usurps the throne, giving him the new title of Emperor, Kotal Khan. 20 years later, Mortal Kombat 10. It's been 2 decades since the war. In that time, Sub-Zero and Scorpion have made amends. Scorpion decides to dedicate his life to seeking vengeance on Quan Chi, again, for turning them against each other in the first place. Johnny Cage starts up a special task force of gifted youngsters to train the next generation of Earthrealm's greatest fighters. This group includes his own daughter, Cassie, as well as Jax's daughter, Jackie. At last, all is right with the realms, and peace is restored. Until Mileena gets her hands on Shinnok's amulet to reclaim her spot as Empress of Outworld. Cassie Cage and the group of young warriors find out and travel to Outworld to enlist help from Kotal Khan to stop Mileena. He's hesitant at first, but they eventually agree to help each other out. Kotal executes Mileena, but he keeps the amulet to himself, breaking their agreement. Little does he know, Quan Chi and Shinnok had a rat working for them the entire time, Devora. As Kotal Khan's second in command, this bug lady has a secret plan to snatch the amulet for Quan Chi, and so far, everything is lining up in her favor. Jax and the Special Forces apprehend Quan Chi. Once Scorpion finds out, he appears and kicks the living crap out of the sorcerer. That's when Devora appears and gives Quan Chi the amulet. Just before Scorpion could chop his head off, he mutters a spell to resurrect Shinnok. Scorpion is instantly filled with regret as Shinnok returns, resuming his original plan to spoil Earthrealm's Jinsei. Shinnok takes Johnny Cage as a hostage to prevent him from meddling with his plans again. Cassie and her team fight their way to Shinnok. When she sees her father in peril, her ancestral powers activate, just as they did for her father all those years prior. She defeats Shinnok, and Raiden places himself within the Jinsei to purify it once more. The world is safe, at least for now. Although Raiden's sacrifice to purify the Jinsei causes him to become corrupt. He still has Earthrealm's best interest in mind, but now he would stop at nothing to maintain it. Raiden appears in the Netherrealm to showcase Shinnok's severed head, sending a message to anyone who should think about threatening Earthrealm again. And there you have it, the whole Mortal Kombat timeline, canon and non-canon alike. We hope